What is going on, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to Knicks Media. Thinking of putting this backwards for the show. How about that? We got Knicks basketball tonight, and I want to break down the matchup against the Detroit Pistons. We're at home at Madison Square Garden. Now, this game has a lot of implications. Why? We got former New York Knicks coming back to MSG. Now, okay. We're all thinking the same thing. Really, we got to talk about this game tonight, Richie. We're versing the Detroit Pistons. They're 8-48. The Knicks better win this game. But I told you guys I want to do a live pregame show, a live preview show for each game, no matter what. And it's the NBA. Any team can be beat on any given night. And the New York Knicks got to take care of business after coming off a tough defeat on Saturday night against the Boston Celtics. And I want to hear from Knicks fans in the chat your overall thoughts of this game against the Detroit Pistons, some matchups you're looking forward to, and what type of game we're looking for. Also want to talk about some injury updates regarding OG Anunoby and Julius Randle and get into all your guys' thoughts in the live chat. Welcome to the show, folks. My name is Richie. If you're tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or on Twitter, this is Knicks Media Live talking about tonight's matchup. Knicks Pistons tipping off at 7:30 p.m. EST at Madison Square Garden. Let's freaking go. Jay Bogues, if we lose this, I got to take a break. This shit's stressful. Yeah, welcome to Knicks fandom. It is stressful all across the world because these New York Knicks know how to stress us out, all right? Now, we lost to the Boston Celtics, who are, unfortunately, the best team in basketball. We are 1-1 since the All-Star break, and I feel like tonight is a great time for the Knicks to get back on track in the win column. Now, as you guys know, the proud sponsor of Knicks Media is BetUS Sportsbook, and if you look at the odds presented by BetUS, the Knicks are 11-point favorites. Wow. 11-point favorites at home. Vegas likes the New York Knicks tonight. Do you guys feel comfortable with that minus 11 spread? They are giving the Detroit Pistons no love, and I don't blame them, right? This is going to be a revenge game for Quentin Grimes and Evan Fournier coming back to the Garden for the first time, and also it is going to be Bojan Bogdanovic and Alec Burks go up against their former team in the Detroit Pistons. So definitely want to get your guys' thoughts about tonight's game in the live chat. Jay says, we played great against Celtics. They just didn't miss. And that's what I'm saying, bro. That Celtics game is driving me nuts because they just didn't miss. It's like, it felt like such a fluke to me, right? It just felt like such a fluke that the Detroit Pistons are not going to do tonight, okay? We're talking about going up against the best team in the NBA on Saturday, and now turn the page. We're about to go up against the worst team in the NBA tonight, okay? So we got to make sure we take care of business. We can't get too cocky. We can't feel like we're on top of the world and we could beat anybody. Knicks got to take care of business and just blow the doors off the Detroit Pistons. If there's one thing I've learned about the New York Knicks this season is they take care of business against a team they're supposed to beat, okay? They have a ridiculously good record against teams sub 500. They were undefeated against teams sub 500 for a long time until they lost to, I think, the Houston Rockets just a few weeks ago. And I think they have like one loss, maybe two losses against teams below 500. So the odds are definitely in the Knicks' favor. Kelvin, yo, Richie, what's good, my guy? Let's go New York Knicks. Kelvin, great to see you in the chat, my guy. Hope you're having a fantastic Monday. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Twitter right now. My name is Richie, tuning in live here on Knicks Media on YouTube and on Twitter. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. It's 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time in New York, and we got a game tonight at Madison Square Garden. One of the worst teams in the NBA coming to town. Doesn't mean, though, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about what to expect from these New York Knicks, regardless of who they're versing. So definitely curious to get your guys' thoughts in the live chat. Shout out to everybody tuning in on Instagram. Shout out to everybody tuning in on YouTube and, of course, on Twitter. Let's freaking go, baby. Daniel's in the chat. Good morning, Daniel. Appreciate you. Corey says, Richie, salute. This game is a must win, back-to-back win, Pistons and Pelicans, bro. Love you, bro. Love you too, Corey. Appreciate you tuning in. The Knicks have a back-to-back tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight we got Detroit. Tomorrow we got New Orleans. So the Knicks got to take care of business and get at least one of these next two games, if not both of them, right? That's really the standard that the New York Knicks have set for themselves in this season. You got to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Obviously, tonight's going to be an easier game than it's going to be tomorrow night against the Pelicans, especially when it's back-to-back. The Knicks love to run a deep rotation. Should I take that back? A short rotation with Tom Thibodeau at the helm as the head coach. We know that Josh Hart's going to be ran into the ground. We know that all of our players are going to be playing significant minutes. You see the starting five at the top left corner of the screen right there with Jalen Brunson, Dante DiVincenzo, Josh Hart, Precious Achiuwa and Isaiah Hartenstein. The New York Knicks are still waiting for a return of OG Anunoby. Now, we heard from Tom Thibodeau that we could be expecting an update from OG Anunoby at the end of the week, and he could be resuming and getting back onto the practice field or practice court, for that matters, for these New York Knicks at the end of the week, and that's really, really promising. Now, we're still waiting about Julius Randle. Unfortunately, they are expecting Randle to try to avoid surgery, but surgery is still on the table for Julius Randle, which is definitely something that we have to consider about Knicks fans is how can we salvage this season with or without Julius Randle? And right now, the Knicks are proving that they can play good ball with or without Julius Randle. And I know that, we want to go all the way. We want to make a deep run in the postseason, and it feels like it's going to be hard without Julius, but the Knicks have been able to stay afloat up until this point, okay? Kelvin's reminding the people, hit that like button and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Kelvin, I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support, as always, my guy. Don't forget to hit that like button, folks, and retweet if you're watching it live on Twitter. Hit that like button for your boy. We got a big-time matchup tonight. I mean, it's not a big time because it's not like against a solid opponent, but it's definitely a team that the Knicks got to be able to take advantage of and make sure they do not, just go into this game thinking we're going to win and it's going to be easy. It's going to be a walk in the park. Like, the Knicks got to go out there and dominate. If there's one thing I've learned, again, about these New York Knicks this season is they take care of business against the teams they're supposed to beat, okay? That's what I'm talking about. Now, if you guys want to get a 125% sign-up bonus on BetUS Sportsbook, you guys can click that link down below in the description to receive a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits by using code JOIN125. And it's a 24/7-hour customer service and a fast 24-hour payout. You look at the odds presented by BetUS. They got the Knicks again at minus 11.5. Money line is at minus 650, which is ridiculous. You would have to put $650 down just to win $100. Okay, that's how favored the Knicks are on BetUS, and the over/under is at 223.5. Another really good part about BetUS that I personally love is their prop building tool. You can build an entire parlay on their site. Definitely, guys, go check them out. You guys can get really good value, up to $2,500 on your first 3 deposits of 125% sign-up bonus when you click that link down below in the description. Now, they got Miles McBride, Deuce, his over at 5.5 points. I absolutely love that. If there's one thing about the bench unit that I've loved from these New York Knicks, it's definitely Deuce McBride. I feel like he is going to hit that over of 5.5 personally. And then Precious Achiuwa, his over-unders at 12.5. I'm going to stay away from that because that seems like it's a little hot and cold for me. Dante DiVincenzo is at 18.5 points. I'm taking the over on Dante. I feel like he is going to have a good night for these New York Knicks tonight. And then let's add some few more legs to this. I think Bojan is going to have 3 threes against his former team in the Detroit Pistons. And then let's see what the bet slip is looking like. So right now, we got a parlay of Deuce McBride hitting over 5.5 points, Dante over 18.5 points, and Bojan to hit over 2.5 3-pointers. And those odds are set at plus 825. So if you put $10 down, you'll win $82. If you put $100 on this parlay, you win up to $800. So if you guys want to take advantage of their promotion on BetUS Sportsbook, click that link down below in the description, and you guys will get a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,500. So thank you to BetUS for being the proud sponsor of the channel all throughout the season. Now, another key thing about tonight's game for me is how can we find our rhythm? How can we find our identity? I think that the Knicks have been really impressive across the NBA of the depth, right? We have guys like Jericho Sims now coming off the bench, playing his best ball of his NBA career. We have Deuce McBride coming in off the bench, playing his best ball of his NBA career. And a lot of that has to do with the development, and a lot of that has to do with the coaching staff, right? But outside of those 2 young players, I feel like, a guy that's been really trending in the right direction from an offensive standpoint is Josh Hart. I really feel like Josh Hart, his offensive game is going to another level right now. And that's going to take the Knicks to an absolute new heights, okay? If you get Josh Hart hitting his 3-pointers, if you get Josh Hart hitting mid-range shots and attacking the paint, putting up 17 to 20 points a game, that's going to take a lot of pressure off of Jalen Brunson, because what have we seen from the Knicks in these past few weeks without Randle or OG? Brunson's getting his, okay? He had 34 and 9 against the Boston Celtics, but we did not have anybody around Jalen Brunson having a phenomenal game to really give him that secondary scoring option, which is why we are missing our guy Julius Randle desperately right now, folks. We need Julius Randle back so bad. We missed that 24 points per game immensely. So who's going to be the guy to step up? We've seen Dante DiVincenzo be that guy. We've seen Bojan Bogdanovic coming off the bench and be that guy. Alec Burks definitely is frustrating Knicks fans because he has not stepped up in playing to hit the level that we are at least hopeful that he can be. So who's going to be the secondary scorer next to Jalen Brunson? Because it feels like it's a new player every given night. And without Julius and without OG, we need to have someone consistently stepping in the shoes. Now, again, we're going up against a team that's literally the worst. They have 8 wins this year. 8 wins. We cannot allow them to come into the Garden and beat us. And I don't think they will. I got a lot of confidence tonight. Jay says Hart stepped up. He just needs to hit those clutch shots for us. Yeah. He hit some clutch shots in the fourth, too, I feel like, against Boston. So Josh Hart has been stepping up. He's been a player that's been impressive to me as of late from an offensive standpoint. Now, another X factor for these New York Knicks is the front court of Precious Achiuwa and Isaiah Hartenstein. I feel like if we eat on the glass, that is the philosophy of Tom Thibodeau's New York Knicks. If we continuously get those offensive rebounds, crash the defensive glass, protect the paint, that is everything about the system of these New York Knicks with the front court and Jericho Sims coming off the bench. I really love that. And you also know that the New York Knicks and Tom Thibodeau is not shy to play small. He's not shy to put Josh Hart in there at the starting four. Not starting four, but on the floor with Precious at the 5, right? We've seen a lot of lineups that consist of Jalen Brunson, Dante, Bojan Bogdanovic, Josh Hart at the 4, and then Precious at the 5, right? So we're not that deep at the number 4 spot at the power forward position because of the injury to Julius Randle. And we're seeing Tom Thibodeau play Josh Hart at the 4. Now, I like it because he is definitely the best rebounder in the NBA at his size, but there was a sequence against the Boston Celtics in the fourth quarter that kind of costed us the game. The Knicks were on a 13 or a 12-3 run, and the Celtics got 4 straight offensive rebounds, and that was when the Knicks were small on the floor. Now, the Celtics are literally one of the better rebounding teams in the NBA, right? So we got to be able to just dominate the glass against these Detroit Pistons because that's definitely not one of their strengths. Maiko in the chat, Richie, I know you play Madden. Do you play 2K? Yeah, I do play 2K. I've been playing 2K as of late, actually, with these New York Knicks. Me and my buddies, whenever they're over my place, we like to play blacktop, draft our teams. Definitely love my NBA 2K. I actually just purchased the new 2K recently. I didn't get it for a minute. Just got it for PS5. Been enjoying the game as of late. So appreciate you, man. But listen, I want to get your guys' thoughts in the chat right now. What's your overall expectations? Do you expect the Knicks to blow them out? Do you expect the Knicks to cover the minus 11 spread? Because that means they got to win by more than 11 points. I mean, I hate to say that that's realistic, but it really is. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button on your way into the show. This is the Knicks Pistons preview show. And I know some people are not really interested in a Knicks Pistons preview show because it's the Pistons here. I know there's a lot more buzz around the Knicks Celtics preview show, but I told you guys I want to do a preview show for every game covering the New York Knicks. So don't forget to smash that like button on your way into the show, guys. And I want to get into some key matchups. Because why is it so Knicks for Quentin Grimes and Evan Fournier, especially Evan Fournier, to come into the Garden and light it up? Do you guys expect Fournier to do it? Do you guys expect Evan Fournier to come into MSG and just kill us? Is he going to do that? Because that's going to drive me nuts. Okay? That will drive me nuts if that's the case. It's very possible because Evan Fournier has now been given the opportunity to play on a bad Pistons team, and he is a flamethrower. Okay? I'm happy the Knicks traded away Fournier for obvious reasons here. But is Fournier about to light us up? I don't want to say that it's going to, but I could see it happening. I could see it happening, Knicks fans. I don't know. Let me know. Corey doesn't think it's going to happen. That makes me feel good. Mako says Knicks winning by 15. I could definitely see that. I mean, I would honestly take the Knicks minus 11. Like, I have a lot of confidence in the Knicks to just dominate tonight. I really do, and I don't want to get ahead of myself. I want to stay humble. I don't want to jinx us, but that's really how I feel. I'm just, based on what I've seen from the Knicks squad this year, that's how I feel. Keith in the chat, I think we win, but not cover the spread. So you think it'll be a close game, Keith? Okay. Keith thinks it's going to be a closer game than usual. It's possible. We've seen teams play up to their level at Madison Square Garden because it is, an arena that people like young players like Cade Cunningham, I'm sure, wants to play his best ball. Guys like Jaden Ivey wants to play his best ball. It's the biggest stage, right? This is where you want to make your name heard. So I wouldn't put it past them. I don't really think the Knicks are going to lose, but hey, the Knicks got to be on all 10 toes. And the best case scenario for me, honestly, is we blow them out to the point where we can sit our starters or sit our main key players in the fourth quarter just because we're playing a back-to-back, right? We have a game again tomorrow night against the New Orleans Pelicans. So the Knicks got to be able to rest the guys and not drive them into the ground, Tibbs. I'm talking to you. Mako says, again, I was there when Knicks played Denver, and I seen Evan miss 8 shots in a row. He's not going to flame us. Okay, good. As long as you say that, I believe it. Los Knicks, Josh will block 3 of his shots just like in practice. Yeah, I can't wait to see that, man. Evan Fournier back at the Garden. You know that he hates the Knicks, okay? I mean, he shouldn't because he got the bag from New York without doing a thing. But, like, Fournier, I can guarantee if there's one game this season he wants to have his best game, it's tonight at MSG to take it to the Knicks fans. Keith says, we'll be up big and then let them hang around. We'll end up winning by 7. I'll take that, Keith. All I want to do is win this game. Jamal says, let Knicks. I said, hopefully Randall recuperates physically. I wonder how Mitch is doing, FYI. I'm pissed we got robbed on the Knicks. Lost to Houston, just like Jets lost to Kansas City. Yeah, Jamal, I feel like, I hope that Julius Randle recovers not only physically, but mentally as well, man. We got to make sure that Julius is A-okay. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button on your way into the show, guys. I greatly appreciate it. It's Knicks Media's Game Day live preview show presented by BetUS Sportsbook. We're excited to continuously make some videos here on the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday. It's the first day of a new week. Woo! And we're coming off a tough game, of course, against the Celtics, but there's no reason to believe why we can't go after the Detroit Pistons tonight and get the job done, okay? I feel like the Knicks are going to get the job done. Let's get some score predictions in the chat. Score predictions in the chat, folks. Is it going to be one of those blowout games, or are the Knicks going to play down to their competition? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat right now. What are your score predictions for these New York Knicks? Let me know right now, guys. We got only 8 likes. You guys can do better than that. Smash that like button right now for your boy, folks. Smash that like button for your boy right now, baby. We appreciate you guys. Corey says 112-97. So Corey's got the Knicks defending home court in an immense way. I love it. I love it. Can't complain. Keith says 110-103. Okay. Mako says 110-95. 111-99. All right, Knicks fans. I love the score predictions, guys. Let me know your score predictions in the chat right now. Now, do you guys think Quentin Grimes is going to have a good game? Quentin Grimes is returning home, baby. His first time. The Knicks took care of business against the Toronto Raptors when the R.J. Barrett and Emmanuel quickly returned to Madison Square Garden. Are the Knicks going to do the same thing again to the Detroit Pistons, the second team they traded with in this season? I think they will. Joshua says 120-118. The Knicks win. Joshua has it going to be a close game for these Knicks against the Pistons. Interesting stuff. I feel like Quentin Grimes is going to have a good night. I don't think he's going to do enough for the Pistons to win, but I think that he's going to do, he's coming back home. I'm sure Grimes is kind of pissed off that he got traded. I'm sure he does not want to be a Piston right now. I mean, who wants to be a Piston? No offense to any Detroit Pistons fans that's watching this right now, but boy, oh boy, what type of future do the Detroit Pistons have? They got some promising young talent. They got Cade Cunningham. They got Jaden Ivey, okay? Yeah, but bruh, what the heck is going on in Detroit? At least you got the Lions, right? At least you got the Lions, Detroit. I don't know what the Tigers are looking like in baseball upcoming year, but sheesh. I don't know, man. Listen, I know that the Knicks were down at that level at one point. 8-48. Is that their record? Let me double check that. Is that wow? 8-48. What do Pistons fans want to see from their team? right? Is it just the development of Cade and hopefully Grimes? I mean, man, that's tough. That's tough. 125 to 110, the Knicks win. Okay, Jamal, I love it. Grimes will put up 20. I can definitely see Grimes putting up 20 points. Guys, don't forget to hit that like button, baby. Let's go. Run it up. I'll tell you one thing. Alec Burks needs to step up. Facts. Alec Burks has been frustrating, bro. Alec Burks has not been stepping up to the plate since the trade. He has just not been playing good. His shot selection drives me nuts. I see Alec Burks pulling up with the hands in his face way too much, bro. You're not Michael Jordan. Stop shooting contested threes, please. Are you taking the 10-point spread? It's 11, actually. Now, the one thing that I've seen from the Knicks this season is that they do blow out teams that are bad. They've done that. So I feel comfortable with the minus 11 spread, honestly, for the Knicks. I really do. Now, I don't want to get too overzealous. I don't want to get too overhyped and overconfident, but based off what we've seen from the Knicks this season, it's not too far-fetched. Bojan needs to have a good game off the bench. Yeah, I feel like he's the X factor for this Knicks team for a lot of different reasons. You know, his ability to come off the bench and just like be a spark plug and be that offensive threat and putting up 18 to 22 a night would be huge for these New York Knicks. We saw what he did against Philadelphia. He was 6 for 6 from three-point land. Are you joking me? And you see what the parlay we got cooked up on BetUS Sportsbook. I got him getting over 2.5 3-pointers, and those odds are at plus 131, which I think is crazy. So that's the parlay I'm rocking with on BetUS tonight. McBride over 5.5 points. Dante over 18.5 points. Bojan over 2.5 3-pointers. Those odds are at plus 825 on BetUS. So if you guys want to take advantage and trail my bet, click that link down below in the description to sign up for BetUS today for a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits, up to $2,500. Appreciate you all. Bojan has been good. He's going to be great for us coming off the bench. Yeah, bro, Bojan is only going to get better and better with time. I feel like the best is yet to come with him. He is a bucket. He could put the ball on the floor. He can be an absolute sniper. He could be a playmaker. He can be a primary ball handler in a pick-and-roll situation. I mean, we know what Bojan's going to bring to the table. The question is, what's Alec Burks bringing? Because he's done nothing. Okay? Now, Deuce McBride has been stepping up and be like, hey, Tibbs, play me. Deuce comes in off the bench. Every time he pulls up from mid-range, catch. I want to see more Deuce McBride minutes. I feel like Deuce needs to be let loose. Okay? That's how I look at it. Let the Deuce loose, Tibbs. Deuce McBride. What's your guys' thoughts and perspectives on Deuce McBride? Because I feel like he has been developing perfectly. And I feel like he deserves more minutes, honestly. Like, how many minutes did he get in these last few games? Because I'll tell you this much, it ain't enough for me. Now, the Knicks were losing in that game, so he did play more minutes in the fourth than he usually does. But McBride, only 16 minutes, 11 points, 5 of 7 from the field against the Celtics. I mean, and Deuce McBride against the Sixers, bro, he played 17 minutes, and a lot of those minutes came in the fourth quarter. I'm telling you guys right now, Deuce McBride deserves more minutes, bro. He is such a unique player coming in off the bench for these New York Knicks. His defensive presence, his ability to get into the passing lanes, his ability to press full court, his ability to hit his shots. I mean, his offensive game has taken some strides. I'm seeing some Jalen Brunson in Deuce McBride's game now, folks. I'm seeing some Deuce McBride looking at Jalen Brunson with the little teardrop floaters in the paint, some mid-range pull-ups. I mean, we know what Jalen Brunson brings to the table in terms of his offensive arsenal, and I'm seeing Deuce take some notes. You love that. You absolutely love that. Can you imagine if Deuce just keeps getting better and better? I think he is. And by the way, the Knicks got Deuce McBride locked up for pennies. Pennies. That was such a smart move by the organization to lock up Deuce McBride for the long term for cheap, for absolute cheap, because he's such a key to this defensive team. You talk about Tom Thibodeau's defensive system. It thrives with a player like a Deuce McBride that can get in and around screens. Don't go underneath. Go over those screens. Stick with them. You feel me? I feel like Deuce McBride is a key. Almighty Finesse in the chat. Yo, what's up? What's up? Let's freaking go, man. I'm excited for Knicks basketball. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday afternoon. We're live at 1:25 Eastern Time. Don't forget to hit the like button, guys, and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning in. I know that tonight's game is a little underwhelming from a matchup standpoint. It's not really exciting to see the Detroit Pistons come to town, but we got to talk about it regardless. Almighty says, watch Fournier and Grimes go off tonight. Exactly what I'm thinking. It would be so New York Knicks for both of them to go off, but we'll still win regardless. Mako says, who would you rather face in the playoffs round one? Pacers, Sixers, or Heat? That's a great question. Maybe the Pacers. Definitely don't want to touch the Heat. I mean, the Heat last year went to the damn NBA Finals as the 8th seed. They definitely play their best ball in the postseason, even though I would love to play the Heat and just get revenge on them and beat them in the playoffs. Like, if you're asking me which team I'd rather go take on and it's a guaranteed W, in the playoffs, it's the Heat because I hate them the most out of those three teams. But give me the Pacers, bro. Give me the Pacers. Give me Tyrese Halliburton. What are you going to do, Tyrese? What are you going to do? Huh? Come on now. Now, the Sixers, we got the Sixers number this year. We definitely do. But I don't know. We'll see. Jimmy from Seattle's in the chat. Let's go, Richie. I'm going to need a dub tonight. You know it, Jimmy. We need a dub tonight. We're all expecting a dub. And if there is no dub tonight, will it raise some concern across Knicks fans? Of course it will. Outlaw says Deuce McBride has been the most improved player so far. He just needs a little bit more consistent with his free-point shot, but his defense is always going to be there. Facts. I agree, Outlaw. Great take. I think that Deuce McBride is the most important piece to the Knicks bench unit and the promising youth that he has. Almighty says we finishing the season 52-30. Wow, we got to go on a run then. If that's the case, we got to start stringing some wins together, a little win streak, maybe. If that's the case, I feel like we have another win streak underneath our belt coming up. And I think that, when OG returns, that's where that win streak is going to begin. Jimmy says, Bojan and Burks need to show the F up these next 4. Yeah, I mean, Bojan definitely stepped up against Philly. Wasn't really there against the Celtics. And then Burks, bruh, where you been, Burks? Where you been, Alec Burks? We traded for you, and you've sucked since. There's nothing that Alec Burks is doing that gets me excited. Besides take idiotic three-pointers. Like, the shot selection from Burks got to improve. That's what it comes down to for me. Take better shots. Stop pulling up with hands in your face. I know you can hit it. I know you're shooting 40% from 3, but sheesh, bro. Bojan should start over Hart. I don't agree with that. Josh Hart needs to start. We need his defense. We need his energy. We need his rebounding. We don't need more offense in the starting 5. We got Brunson and Dante as the offensive guys. We need Bojan to come off the bench. If you put Josh Hart off the bench, where's the scoring coming from off the bench? I like Bojan coming off the bench, personally. Dante is a dog. Yes, he is. Burks not looking good at all. Better on Detroit. Burks needs to kick and drive and kick. Absolutely. Alec Burks needs to just, stop playing selfish ball. That's what it comes down to. It feels like he's stuck in an isolation mode. It feels like he's need to prove something or something. Chill, Burks. Just play your game, or play the Knicks game rather, because the Knicks game has been thriving this year. I had a feeling the Knicks should not bring back Alec Burks. We'll see. Richie, I told you Hart would hit the last 2 games. You did, Jimmy. You did. What's his over-under for this upcoming game? Josh Hart's at over 11.5 points. I might have to smash that. All over again. Guys, don't forget to smash that like button on your way into the show. We got Knicks basketball tonight at MSG. We got a mini home stretch before we go back on the road. And these games are important, bro. These games are important. These next 3 games, I want to win 2 of the next 3 games, minimum. Right? We got the Warriors coming to town Thursday. Of course, we got a back-to-back. And then on Sunday night, we're in Cleveland. That's going to be a big game, bro. And then we're back home for another 4-game home stretch. Atlanta, Orlando, Philadelphia, back-to-back. And then we're on a little West Coast trip. Portland, Sacramento, Golden State, Denver. I don't know when to expect our guys to come back, but I'm hopeful that OG Anunoby will be back by that West Coast trip. That's what I'm hoping for. And Julius Randle may be back by the end of the month of March. We shall see. We shall see. I'm taking it, Jimmy. I will take it. I will listen to you. Guys, we're going to wrap up the show here. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another Knicks Media Game Day preview show. We'll be live again tomorrow talking about the Knicks and the Pelicans. And, of course, we'll be making a recap video based on what happens tonight on the channel. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. I appreciate each and every single one of you guys tuning in to Knicks Media, guys. Love you all. Let's go, Knicks. I'll catch you guys later. Peace out. Much love. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, baby. Peace out, guys.